Multisensory materiality, expanding human experience and material potentials with advanced HoloLens technologies and emotion sensing wearables with Marcus Farr and Andrea Macruz. The abstract for this project asks, what is the current state of human material perception relative to advanced architectural technology? What sensory experiences are possible? How are they designed and deployed? The project focuses on relationships between technology, human sensory experience, relative to specific augmented and sensorial engagements.
Work explores what it means to design spaces with high degrees of sensory feedback and potential. It is made in tandem with technology using Rhino, Houdini, holograms, and HoloLens. To monitor and evaluate the reactions to the projects, users also wear emotion sensing up mood bracelets that collect biodata. This project evaluates the use of these convergent technologies as a way to improve our understanding of how we design for a deeper human experience.
With this small augmented installation, the paper documents the introduction of overlapping augmented reality into the design space by pairing motion sensing wearables, the Microsoft HoloLens technology. This is an extension to the traditional architectural workflow. The benefits include real-time simulation of scale, form, color, light, shadow, and the experimentation of these as they relate to a host of different material situations.
In this project, it was important to understand materiality by creating a more compelling relationship with the potentials of sensory perception and technology in architectural space. To do this, the installation offers tactile, olfactory, and auditory interactions that enhance the aggregation of surface material and patterning on an otherwise normative architectural surface.
The project looked to achieve sensorial experiences through expanded notions of texture. To do this, a pattern 6.5 meters in length was designed and laser cut into 32 sheets of flat material and mounted to a wall in a gallery space. The size and scale of this was important because it offered an opportunity to experience orientations of pattern and texture. The material was covered with different crystallization coatings and salts that changed the weight, texture, and density of the surface. Moving further, layers of different colors were combined, creating contrasting light to the textures. This combination offered a noticeable sense of tactility and visual intricacy.
To contextualize the experience, salt crystals are used as the primary material reference. Salt and inertia of crystals by this material offers an alternate material palette that is extremely textural and has a unique interaction with light. This has powerful symbolic associations with collective memory, ritual, landscape, and purification. These materials are seldom used or explored in architectural way.
With this textural experience, users can perceive the space differently, both digitally and physically, giving meaning and value to its physicality and an expanded notion of spatial awareness. It's given a new architectural importance, one that is not merely structure or partition, but one that is designed to play a larger role in the experience of architecture beyond the normative, beyond the visual.
Architecture is often presented through the concept of material craft, but often does not include the potentials of the sensorial craft. This paper argues that the need for sensorial craft is one that is intrinsic to human nature and also a part of the material craft. Our relationships to touch, smell, sound, and sight are in fact part of our search for a deeper understanding of place and meaning. Our answer is to reimagine what sensorial feedbacks are already available to us and to embrace the technologies that offer a higher sense of place.
Sounds of nature are particularly interesting when their scale is amplified, or the sounds are transformed in a way that we're not used to listening to it, helping us to fixate this experience in our head. The sound of salt crystallization was essential in forming a mental dialogue with the space.
This illustrates why it was important that the installation experiment with virtual environments and real environments in a synergistic way to help us to reperceive materials through human sensorium. Smell, sound, and touch were used in this installation as a way to ground the visitors in the real environment, bringing the perception back to their body. Therefore, the smell of salt was combined with sound, textures, white color, and AR, resulting in a connection and an integrated sensory experience.
In the installation, new software and devices were used for design, construction, and feedback, which acted as an extended mind for us as designers to perceive our work differently. Also, its aim was to analyze how these devices help us to extend our perception, how they transform us, and what kind of environments we're going to create after this experience.
This process was important in that it allowed for the exploration of new ways of thinking, making, and presenting spatial potentials that can affect the senses. But beyond designing for senses, this project looks at what it means not only to evaluate a sensory experience, but to increase it with digital technology. This augmented potential allows us to create a more rooted exploration of space, merging the physical with the digital, the buildable with the not yet buildable, and the fabricated with unfabricated.
The augmented experience offers an overlay onto the current physical installation, including additions to scale, light, and potential materialities, combine real with unreal. These digital overlays are projected or layered along with the real world via glasses or iPhone monitors. An augmented version of the installation was created that expanded on the physical by changing densities, colors, and increasing the size and scale of the patterns. As one interacts with the installation, they can also interact with the digital by using a linked cell phone device.
To monitor and evaluate how people perceive certain criteria, users were upload emotion sensing bracelets when they visited the project. These collect biodata from the user and result in 11 different emotional states.
Through this process, the project addressed user insight relative to emotional patterns and management. This was presented digitally. This installation tries to increase felt experiences using the different stimuli to increase response to senses and to offer recording of what a user felt to bring about potential self-awareness.
The project involved the design and the construction of a wall surface, the discussion of its material and sensorial qualities, and its virtual augmentation as a catalyst for the new experiences. It employed digital technologies to help build, perceive, and evaluate the overall experience. Moving further, rather than designing and then building and then experience, we believe these activities have the potential to overlap more and inform each other throughout the design process.
This methodology does not aim to provide solutions from the outset, but rather looks at using the process of augmented design and technology to inform solutions along the way, and then attempts to evaluate the potential impact of a set of sensorial experiences. Its aim was to build upon its own theoretical underpinnings, but it is also interested in informing best practices and how this process can contribute or be applied to future projects. The work allows for the overlapping of augmented reality into the design space by pairing emotion sensing wearables with augmented technology as an extension to the traditional design build workflow and an extension of the material and spatial experience. The use of these technologies offers an expanded mode of inquiry relative to the design process and outcome. While there are many critiques and areas still yet to be developed, we discovered a rich dialogue and a deeper sense of concept development in using this process.